Hello, my name is Grace McDougall, and this is my 5th year teaching English at North High School. This year I'll be teaching English 9 Sheltered Instruction, British Masters, and W131. So here's a brief overview of those 3 courses. In English 9, we'll be reading Romeo and Juliet, The Odyssey, and various other short stories and nonfiction. In British Masters, we will be beginning the year with our college application essay, which is a personal narrative that students can use on the Common App. We will also be completing our 2 of the senior project reflections, as well as at the end of the term writing a research paper. And our 2 major texts are Much Ado About Nothing and Lord of the Flies. For W131, our writing manual will be Writing Analytically, which outlines kind of the strategies of writing, of critical thinking that we'll be using. And then we also have various essays from IU's Raw, Readings for Analytical Writing, which we will be analyzing using those strategies laid out in Writing Analytically. These policies apply not to W131, to my other 2 classes. W131 has other IU-specific expectations, which will be at the end of this slideshow. But for English 9 and for British Masters, these are my homework policies. So homework is due at the beginning of class, either physically turned in on paper or turned in on Canvas. Late work will be docked 10% per class period late, that should say that rather than day late, maxing out 50%, and late work will not be accepted 3 weeks after the deadline. In terms of technology, all materials will be posted on Canvas, but hard copies will be available for students who need or just prefer to have something physically with them. And if a student is ever absent, they should check Canvas first for any absent work. In terms of grades, grades will be initially posted on Canvas, and then those grades will sync to PowerSchool at 10 p.m. daily. If a student notices something that seems a little bit odd in the grade book, they should certainly message me, talk to me in person. I do my best to, cross-reference and make sure everything's syncing over correctly, but, accidents happen, so definitely encourage your student to reach out to me if they feel like something is not being accurately represented online. In terms of IU-specific policies, and these policies come from IU. When a student registers for W131, they are also registering as an IU student, and therefore we have to follow the IU policies. So in that same vein, your student does need to make sure that they are registering with IU in order to receive college credit, not just Columbus North credit. And then here are some of the most important policies to be aware of. First of all, IU takes attendance quite seriously, so after 3 absences, the final grade will drop by 1/3 of a letter grade per absence. So first 3 absences, no reflection on your grade, but that 4th absence, you would drop 1/3 of a letter grade. And IU does not distinguish between an unexcused absence and an excused absence. So kind of regardless of the reason, whether a student was sick, had a doctor's appointment, had a flat tire, that is all considered an absence. Of course, if something, is happening that is, out of the student's control, that's maybe going to be a little bit longer lasting, please do contact me and we can try to figure out an accommodation, but that is the absence policy. For late work will be docked 10% per day late. That's day late, not class late, but day late, and will not be accepted 1 week past the deadline. And in terms of how the class is structured, there are 1,000 points for the semester, and the bulk of those points, 900 of them, are split between 3 microthemes, which are short, kind of 1-page writings, and 3 longer essays. The microthemes are each 50 points, and then the 3 essays are worth progressively more points, beginning at around 150, and then ending at around 300. So the points-wise, the end of the course is weighed much more heavily than the beginning. That leaves 100 points left over for me to use at my discretion for homework assignments, journals, etc. But yeah, bulk of the points are going to those 6 assignments, and it's not a whole lot of them. So unlike another course where your student would be receiving on average 2 grades per week, in W131 there's just not as many grades in the grade book. So just something to be aware of. Yeah, so IU policies are definitely something to know, that to be aware of, that they'll be different probably from other expectations for other courses. Yeah, and I'm very happy to answer any questions, whether in person or through email or through Canvas messages. Please encourage your student if they ever, are worried about something or confused about something to reach out to me. All important announcements will be on Canvas, and your student should be checking Canvas regularly to be up to date with all information. There's my email, and thanks for watching. I'm looking forward to a wonderful year.